Monday, July 13th, Memorial of Saint Henry II. This reflection is prepared by Father Ayoub Francis, pastor at St. Jude Church, Grand Rapids, Michigan, USA. Faith in action, worship, justice, and sacrifice. Saint Henry II is remembered as a holy king who used his authority not for personal glory, but for the service of God and his people. Born in 973, he became the Holy Roman Emperor and was known for his deep faith, love for the Church, generosity to the poor, and commitment to justice and peace. Together with his wife, Saint Cunegund, he lived a life of holiness and dedicated themselves to strengthening the Church and promoting Christian values throughout the empire. Saint Henry died in 1024, leaving behind the example of a ruler who believed that true greatness comes from serving God and others rather than seeking power or wealth. Today's readings challenge us to examine the authenticity of our relationship with God. Through the prophet Isaiah, God speaks strongly against empty religious practices. The people were offering sacrifices, attending worship, and observing religious rituals, yet their hearts were far from God. The Lord declares that He does not delight in worship that is disconnected from justice and compassion. Instead, He calls His people to wash yourselves clean, to stop doing evil, learn to do good, seek justice, defend the oppressed, care for the orphan, and plead for the widow. God desires not simply prayers on our lips, but love expressed through our actions. In the Gospel, Jesus gives His disciples a difficult message. Following Him is not always comfortable or easy. Christ says that He came not to bring peace, as the world understands it, but a decision. Sometimes choosing Christ requires difficult sacrifices, misunderstandings, or even opposition from those closest to us. Jesus reminds us that anyone who loves family, comfort, or personal security more than Him is not worthy of being His disciple. To take up the cross means to place Christ at the center of our lives and to trust Him even when the path is difficult. Saint Henry too beautifully lived this gospel. Although he possessed great political power and wealth, he understood that everything he had was a gift from God. He sought first God's kingdom by promoting justice, defending the Church, caring for the poor, and striving to live according to the gospel. His life teaches us that holiness is possible in every vocation. Whether we are parents, workers, students, priests, religious, or leaders, God calls each of us to serve Him faithfully wherever He has placed us. These readings remind us that our faith cannot remain inside the walls of the Church. Our worship must be reflected in the way we treat others with kindness, honesty, forgiveness, compassion, and justice. True discipleship is shown not only by attending Mass or saying prayers, but by allowing Christ to transform our hearts and our daily choices. Lessons for us today. God desires sincere hearts more than outward religious practices. True worship is expressed through justice, mercy, and love for those in need. Following Jesus requires courage, sacrifice, and a willingness to put Him first. Every vocation can become a path to holiness when lived in faithful service to God. Like Saint Henry too, we are called to use our gifts, talents, and responsibilities for the glory of God and the good of others. Question for meditation: does my daily life reflect the faith I profess at Mass? And am I willing to place Jesus above every other attachment, so that I may become His faithful disciple?